mention the system though.
Yeah.
After the game, so this is after they had got back to the locker room, probably when they were sitting in there sometime. RG3 made a tweet, and it was the Metcalf chasing down the player, and it made a reference to Lamar going to the bathroom. So it makes you wonder if Lamar got back to the bathroom. He's like, yeah, man, I had to go to the bathroom.
Right.
He's just joking around with the guys. And so RG3's like, man, he really did have to go to the bathroom.
Listen, and coming from anybody else, like, of course it's going to be for like there. And I think here's the thing. The teammates are even so protective of Lamar, you know what I'm saying, and his honesty.
Publicly.
Yeah.
But behind the scenes, he is like, he doesn't do a lot of wrong. I promise you, he is taking a beating in that locker room.
To that point, though, like when he was doing his post-game interview, and I get it, like players come by sometimes and will make, other players will make comments.
His is different,
It
Brian.
was literally every player went by, was like, man, yeah. And they all wanted to like be like, thanks, Lamar. Like you won this game.
No, listen, his post-game stuff, all that big trust, like y'all, like I don't care if you're sick of it because you're not appreciating the dynamics of all of alphas. I was watching a little I was actually listening to a YouTube audiobook, and it was basically talking about true power, and the guy was comparing money to the value of people supporting you without money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Lamar is not the high paid guy who everybody has to kiss his rear end because he's making the most money. He's still on his rookie deal.
Yeah.
So he's not the big money guy in the locker room. So those guys following him is based on his word and his, you know what I'm saying? And, and his character. So you add all that up. Now I got to tell you the truth.
Okay.
This is Marcus's theory. No, actually it's not Marcus's theory. It's the truth, but I'm going to just call it a theory because I don't want to end up in court having to testify over it. You want to know what Lamar's problem is, Steve?
Listen.
Y'all want to know what was wrong with Lamar for real?
Listen.
He had back spasms.
Ugh. That could be true.
Lamar had back spasms, and it was making him cramp up.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who's had back spasms, lower back spasms, you felt it go down through your butt. You felt it go down through your hamstring. You know what I'm saying?
I've been lucky enough to not deal with that. So
there's people right now that I have had, and I'm talking about athletic back spasms, like during the game, where you ever see when people like lock up and then later on they're kind of looking normal and you're like, what was that? And that run that people call the poop run or whatever, that little waddle. Okay, this is how your body works. The longer your stride, the more strain it puts on your lower back.
Mm-hmm.
So when your lower back hurts, you do a little. You've seen the joke I told you when I identified Shawn Michaels as having back problems, and I didn't even know who he was.
Mm-hmm.
And Gibbs, I was like, who's that? Who's that wrestler? He's like, man, that's Shawn Michaels. I was like, he got a bad back or something? You know what I'm saying? He's like, why do you say that? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, I know the back spasm walk. You know what I'm saying? Like it. Lamar is cramping in, like I said, and you think about, and this is what made me actually even confirm it in my own mind. Lamar did better about not taking hits in that game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He a couple of those times where Lamar, he's going down a nice little bit easier. He's running out of bounds a little bit easier. And it's like, yeah, you do that when your back hurts.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that'll get you down a lot quicker. Is that upright run? You're taking a little bit off the speed game and just kind of doing his, flowing Lamar thing. His back to butt to calf muscles are tightening up on him.
I think you try not to breathe. You know what I'm saying? You got any kind of pain around that area, you try to like not breathe. So you do that. It's almost like, have you ever had like a stitch in your side or like a cramp, like right here in the front, and you're like
the rib cramp?
The other day, I got
the long distance running.
Yes, I got one a couple weeks ago, and Charity's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, because you're trying not to like take a deep breath, I was like, oh, until it goes away. But yeah, I don't know, but regardless of what it is, man, it was good. Hopefully he can get his team in the playoffs.
Listen, I had to turn it off.
What?
When Lamar came back for the 4th and 5.
Oh yeah,
I had to turn it
oh,
off.
it was awesome, man. You come right back out there,
And you text
bang.
me. I was so happy when you sent me that text. But here's what happened. I turned it right back on. I saw Baker Mayfield complete one pass. I turned it back off.
Yeah, I think Baker Mayfield. I legitimately think I dislike him maybe as much or more than any athlete I've ever. And I hate it because I
wait a minute. He didn't win your respect back over last night.
No. But like I here's why I hate it, because I was on the Browns early. I remember my
You
son
wanted anybody but Baker to get hold of that team.
Man, I was like, look, the Browns about 4 years ago, people were laughing at the Browns. And I'm like, y'all realize the Browns, yeah, they've won 1 or 2 games, but they're covering every single game.
Mm-hmm.
They're right there. They've been drafting pretty good. They got a pretty good core. I was like, my son even was like, oh, the Browns are trash. And I'm like, son, the Browns are going to be good. Like, watch out now. And then Baker Mayfield gets a hold of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, good Lord. Because I really thought the Browns were going to get Saquon Barkley. And I still think the Browns fudged that up uncontrollably. The Browns could have gotten like Barkley and Lamar.
Right.
Or even
I remember us talking about
and I'm
that.
like, oh, dude, the Browns are going to be like the real deal, man. Like,
yeah, I remember we were saying Cleveland. Watch this. See, here was. This is what I was talking about.
I'm watching. Yeah. Stafford, trash. I can't wait to see who. Never mind. We'll see. It's going to be a fun offseason for us.
But you see what I'm talking about? Like Stafford, like what was that?
We have a lot to all right. But anyways, that's the NFL talk. I know people are probably ripping their faces off right now.
Right.
And wanting us to get to listen, I'm going to do a Marcus right now. This is one where we love this. This is family here. Are you cool with this? I am so split on these 2 topics.
Good call.
That I would almost like to go to the text line and say, give me the first couple that come in. Do we want to go to this football recruiting signing day?
Listen, you're saying recruiting, or do we address the mass exodus?
Well, I was
panickers.
I was counting all that.
Okay.
I was counting the football conversation or the basketball conversation, because I'm curious to see what people want to talk about, because I think both are extremely important.
What you think, Brian?
I think people are more interested in the football conversation right now with like, because I got several texts last night from people being like, what's going on over there at Louisville? Why is everybody leaving? And I'm like, I tried to calm a lot of them down and be like, hey, I think a lot of these were expected. There's maybe only 1 or 2 in this that weren't expected. So
is it like you address the panic situations first?
Well, Brian, you're in tune because the text line is footballing it up right now. So definitely. I think we'll go that route.
Where do you want? What part of it you want to start, Steve?
Okay, we'll start with our team. How about that? Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, we'll start with our team. The transfers.
Steve, I've watched you host shows 1,000 times. You can
right.
You fire away.
I know. I feel this. So okay, so we'll start with what we have here, and then we'll get to the recruiting, and we'll get to because tomorrow's going to be big recruiting also. But we'll be heavy recruiting on here tomorrow. So, but we will address obviously the flips, the different stuff today. So we'll talk about that
conversation.
Conversation. Do I?
I like Prince's.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll see if because y'all getting real excited, and I'm like, it's still Notre Dame. So hang on a minute. Yeah, like
no, but we talked about it last night on the emergency meeting stream.
Yes,
I'm going to argue against your still Notre Dame.
Oh, sure,
as a way to feel good. But continue.
Absolutely. So yesterday, a few names start coming out. I think we saw during the show yesterday, we had Puma Pass, Anthony Johnson. Then it was announced Rush East is in the transfer portal. Rajay Burns is going to go pro. And then there might have been 1 or 2, but then the T-Web one come up last night. And I think that's the first one that maybe got people.
T-Web and Yeast, I would say.
Why? No, wait.
Okay.
Why Yeast, Brian?
I didn't expect Yeast to leave, but that was just me personally.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say it was a little less unexpected than T-Web. T-Web was the one that was just out of the blue. Like, I had no idea.
Okay. Why do you think, if you had to psychoanalyze Russ Yeast, what would you say it was?
I don't know. He's been kind of back and forth for a while. Like Satterfield basically had to talk him back into coming back to Louisville originally.
When Satterfield first got the job.
Yeah, because he had announced he was transferring, and then Satterfield got the job and brought him back. And then I don't think it's playing time, but I think it's just a mix of everything. I think it's, he was already considering leaving. He came back, he gave it a shot. We haven't been productive. The defense has been getting criticized, and he's got 1 year left to play, and he probably just wanted to make the most of his last year. And he thinks that probably he could find a better opportunity.
With every player we talk about, if you have a definitive or I want your opinion to end in, does he transfer up, down, or stay the same?
I think he's gonna honestly still be at a Power 5 school because he's a guy that could still win a starting job at a Power 5 school. I wouldn't be surprised if he went, to what you would classify as a mid-major just to know that he's getting playing time. I think he's gonna move back up to Indiana somewhere. I'm not saying like IU or Purdue, but I think he'll be at a Division I school and he'll be at a spot where he knows he's gonna be starting.
So by your answer, I'm saying he moves a little bit down. What? You say?
Well, I would say lateral in the sense of a Power 5, but down from Louisville. Like an Illinois.
That's down.
Like,
No. Listen, listen. If it's a little down, say down.
Down. I mean, he's not gonna go to the same caliber of a Louisville school. He's still gonna go to a Division I, probably Power 5 school, but not one that I would put on Louisville's level.
What say you, Steve?
I think he'll go way down. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes and plays for his dad at Kentucky Wesleyan. Listen, here's I'll play your game, and I'm gonna play your game with another. I think the transfers you're seeing.
You called it. Own it. Oh, yeah.
I got a question for you.
You opened my mind on this one.
Okay.
When you say down and say he goes like a Kentucky Wesleyan, do you think he has hopes? And this is something that I've kind of thought about. Do you think he has hopes of being a two-way player or at playing some wide receiver, and he misses playing wide receiver a little bit?
1,000%. 1,000%. Yeah, we're right on the same page there because I think he'll go somewhere where he thinks, a lower level, I can be a dynamic player. He come in as a receiver,
punt returner.
Yeah, that's 1,000% what I think. That's why I think he'll go way down. Like I think he'll transfer somewhere, like Kentucky Wesleyan or Kentucky or something. So
I thought it was a very mutual parting of ways as well.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of my thing is I'm playing your game, except the way around. I think the transfer, is what you're seeing playing time, pro, mutual. That's kind of the three, and Russ, I think, fell in the mutual category. Coach Brown, did you guys get to hear Coach Brown with Drew Diener this morning?
I did not.
Okay, it was great. And he
gave $1,000 this morning.
He gave $1,000. He gave $1,000.
He talked about, this is one of my busiest days, and he took the time to go to. He actually went to Kohl's, and gave him $1,000.
Shout out! Yeah, great. Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, and I know some other coaches have done that. And I don't know what Drew said on the air or not, so I don't want to say yet until I talk to him. But I know a lot of people from the football, so there was involved. So, but here's the thing. Coach Brown made a comment and kind of. He said, because Drew asked him, he said, next year, how are y'all going to work that with the 85 scholarship limit, or can you go over? Coach Brown said, well, we can go over. He said, and Coach Max made this comment too. He said, but we're not going to be very much over.
Mm-hmm.
He said, for one, it costs a lot of money to go over. He said, some of it is working itself out. Coach Brown kind of told you this morning, a couple guys are going pro, and then there's
a couple conversations.
He gave the number 8. He said 8.
He was kind of like, well, because I do think there's some, like I would be, and this isn't inside knowledge, but I do think you're going to hear Dorian Etheridge in the next couple of days. He's going pro. I don't think there's going to be many come back. The one guy that I'm watching like a hawk, and I know we're kind of all over the place right now, but that's kind of where we're at in the season. I'm watching Marlon Character because I said this on the stream last night. Marlon Character is the guy whose name started to surface out there
as a real player.
Pro. Yeah.
As a player.
I think he could get a lot of hype coming into next season on the NFL list. So I think he has a really big decision to make. And selfishly, I mean, if I could take one guy back, I mean, of the realistic guys, like Dez is gone. Those guys have already decided. Marlon would be the guy.
Yeah.
I would take him back. So, but yeah, I do think you're going to see more. But he said it's working itself out. But when he says that, that alludes to me that it's working itself out because some guys were kind of having to tell to leave. You know?
Yeah. Or there was just an uncomfortable.
And Russ, with all due respect to Russ Yeast, I think he probably fell in that category.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably, you want to play more. Or you want to do more?
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not a playing time thing.
No,
because he played the whole entire time, much to our dismay a lot of times.
Yeah, it's not a playing time thing, but it's one of those deals where it's like, and what I mean by play more is next year, you can come back, but your minutes aren't going to be there.
Yeah.
So that's up to you. If you want to come back, hey, we're not going to kick a Rush Yeast off the team, but I'm telling you right
just
now,
that level of athlete you don't remove from your locker room.
Maybe Benjamin Perry's going to come in and start.
Right. And Lovey Jenkins and those guys, like, I'm sorry, Russ, but the minutes next year aren't going to be there.
There are some more natural defenders than you.
There was another interesting tweet while all these names were being announced leaving. Lovey came on. Lovey Jenkins came on and was like excited about the next Louisville era. It's going to be fire.
Yes,
that's a
good call, man. Yeah,
the Lovey Jenkins saying, "I'm good. I'm excited."
And get y'all on out of here.
They probably went to him early, like, dude, you're gonna be right. We're gonna get you right.
Well, did you see? We talked about it yesterday. When we said, look, these young guys, look, they're ready to get y'all on out the door. And I think that the Lovey Jenkins thing, I don't know, man. I think Lovey Jenkins did that on his own. Because Lovey Jenkins is a kid. He's from Florida. He's from down south. He's cool. Him and Greedy Vance, those guys.
Right.
Did you see Lovey Jenkins dance?
No.
You haven't saw the clip of Lovey Jenkins after that turnover where he does the pelvic thrust dance in the middle of the field? Like,
yeah, I think I do, but it didn't stand out.
It was old school Miami-ish. And I'm like, they're booting these dudes out the door.
Yep.
And so I do think that you're seeing some of that with the transfers. The T-Web thing's interesting. It kind of shocked me. But then we talked last night, Marcus and I, to two separate people that would know.
We backtracked some sources
that weren't coaches, and they don't converse together, but both said he had a couple years, like, you know what I mean. And now here's the thing, that doesn't bother me because I think you can take a kid from Georgia who's 6'4".
Wait a minute, turn around, look at the headline down low, all the way to the bottom.
But he's going to. They say he's probably going to Jackson.
Really?
He's going to play for.
His dad. Okay.
Yeah. It's Deion Sanders'
I thought he
son.
was already there. But go ahead.
No. That's his other kid.
Okay.
That's not Shadur Sanders. Yeah,
you're right.
Okay. Yeah. That's his other kid. His other kid's a receiver. But that said, now here's the thing. I don't mind that because I understand that sometimes kids come in like Frank Ponce said it before the season. He said, T-Web will make some throws that'll wow you 5% of the time. And then the other time it's like, okay, he's behind the game. That don't bother me. It doesn't bother me. Like people sometimes around here, especially around here,
right?
We judge kids like in 1 year. And I'm like, it doesn't bother me that a kid has to wait till his junior year, especially at the quarterback position, to come in and play. Not one bit. Does that bother me?
Football.
Yeah.
Listen, a freshman starter, you have to go back to realizing how difficult that is.
Yeah.
And this is coming from the 11th freshman to start in Denny Crumb's 27-year history.
Yeah, it's true.
How many times do I do that a month, Steve?
That's pretty funny.
But no, even in today, like they love to, and again, being a Louisville person, you have a warped mentality of freshmen that are supposed to
right
make instant contributions.
Listen, Texter 9379. Nobody that hurt. I thought that was a great one. Thank you for acknowledging that at least.
I'm curious. I missed it.
Well, you missed it. You missed it already. It's over. Hurt my feelings. Both y'all hurt my feelings. I had a great little dig at Kentucky. Nobody bid on it. Nobody like I said he's going to transfer down somewhere like Kentucky Wesleyan or Kentucky.
I didn't hear you say
I know,
Kentucky.
yeah, and both of y'all just were
I didn't hear it at all. Sorry.
I know. No, it was hurtful, but we're gonna move on.
Brian, did you hear him say Wesleyan or Kentucky?
I heard Kentucky Wesleyan, but that's all I heard.
It's okay. So at least the texter acknowledged it. I can move on now, and now I'm not holding a grudge.
Or I thought you were gonna say different Kentucky or something.
No, I don't. Just look. I'm the grudge is gone. I'm not holding it anymore.
Fair enough.
But that's why yesterday.
Okay, T-Web. We're still talking T-Web.
Yeah, T-Web. That one, of course, you're going to get the immediate. Well, maybe there's some, with the coach or whatever. I didn't get that. I just think T-Web. I mean, I think it's one of those things where T-Web is like went and probably had an honest conversation and said, "Look, are
you in the running?"
Okay, it's the worst kept secret in America that Louisville's looking to bring a quarterback in. The Mississippi State kid, Garrett Schrader, has been the name everywhere that Louisville is trying to get. They're also looking at maybe a grad transfer to bring in to fill up the quarterback room. That's no secret. If T-Web went to Coach Satterfield and said, "Am I going to be in the competition next year?" There's a chance Coach Satterfield said, "Look, we like you, T, and we think in 2 years you could be a guy, but not next year." I totally get if T-Web was like,
Brian,
I'd rather take my shot somewhere else.
Up, down, sideways, T-Web transfer level.
I'm gonna say sideways. I'm gonna say that he goes to a Power 5 school about equal to Louisville, but he just wants to try to find an opportunity where he can get on the field quicker. I don't think he can really go up because his stock was he came in as like a high 3-star and hasn't shown anything yet on the field. I don't see a bigger school taking a chance on a not unheralded, but like a 3-star recruit out of high school who hadn't done anything yet. But I could see like a smaller Power 5 school or a not as competitive Power 5 school jumping at that opportunity to get T-Web. I could also see him going down though for more playing time because if he goes to a mid-major, he could probably start next year.
So what's your answer? Final answer?
He's going down. After all that,
I knew you were going to say he's going down.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to pull a Brian on this one. I'm going to settle on down. But I think it's going to be down only in program. I think he's going to end up somewhere like I'll do the Western thing to make Brian happy. But like, I think he's going to go somewhere where it's a mid-major that can win. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't be shocked to see him go to because I want to say sideways because you haven't saw him on the field. Somebody will take him.
Yeah, see, I was going to say down a lot, but sideways only because he still has a reputation.
Yeah. And
there's a coach that knew he could do coaches believe in their ability. So while we say, "Oh, he couldn't do anything here," that's why I thought Juwan Pass was going to get a big time shot. Just coaches, all these coaches think all the coaches that lost Juwan Pass to Louisville, they just think y'all screwed him up at Louisville. He's an ultimate prospect. I can fix him. I can turn him around.
I agree. And that's why I think he will. I think T-Web, like I'm using like an App State or somewhere just to throw that out there. So that's why I say I'm kind of pulling a Brian here. I'm saying down as in program, but lateral as in, you still will probably be could be a team that could be in the top 25. I think
that's kind of what I was trying to.
Yeah. Like, so, because, but I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere like an SEC school took him.
Right.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
absolutely.
Only because, like I said, I think again where he's from, what he did. You know what I'm saying? His history. Still got some coaches that say I wouldn't mind taking a shot on that kid. And have you seen the quarterback play at Tennessee?
Unfortunately, yeah, I've watched it. I've picked the worst
think Tennessee
time.
would put him in a room. They would put him in a.
Tennessee would put me in the room right now. Listen. When you're down there, I've chatted around with some of the locals now because I'm kind of getting
the locals.
Yeah, and so I'm like, I wear my Louisville stuff, you know what I'm saying, and different stuff, and I have like and we'll get into conversation. I'm like, yeah, of course I always name drop your son, always, and to a man, that boy can play. He can play some football, couldn't he? Yeah, right. He could, but they just, you think, I mean, they hate Jeremy Pruitt. Like they hate. I listen. Me and Charity were driving around Knoxville. Actually, we went over to Knoxville, which has the best mall. The Westtown Mall is the best mall in America. It's amazing outside of the Mall of America. But we saw the Rock.
The Campus Rock. Oh, okay.
I was like, it's that Fire Pruitt. I was like,
yeah. Once your name gets on the Tennessee Rock on campus, you're done.
So I don't know. The transfers don't bother me, man. I think that they're moving.
So you wouldn't call T Webb a Satterfield's botched interview?
No, I don't like
centric.
losing him only because I know we need a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in losing him, that loses an extra option.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, even if people have told me, hey man, you watched him in practice, he's not there, he's not where he needs to be right now. I still like competition. And as it stands,
and upside. He had upside.
Yes.
He had upside.
And as it stands today, there's only Evan Conley and Malik Cunningham in the room. That is not something I want to.
Coach says he likes 7 in the room.
Yeah, I don't want to live in a world where I do think they'll probably get the Schrader kid from Mississippi State. He has some upside. I like that. That's a nice ad. Is he a guaranteed come in?
I'm not calling him an instant.
That's what
slinger.
I'm saying. I'm not coming right in and saying, okay, Schrader's going to come right in and he's the guy. Boom. I think he's that type. Do they go the grad route and try to bring somebody else in? I think they will. TJ Lewis is going to be in there, but he's a true freshman. And he plays a lot like Malik in the sense of just style. I don't know that he's going to Malik better than Malik next year.
Right.
Even though I do like Lewis. I think Lewis can be good. He's closer to the I'll say Lamar-ish, but you know what I'm saying, like dynamic runner than Malik is.
That has wiggle.
Yeah, but right.
Wiggle. Wiggle is what we're missing, in my opinion.
Yeah, so I think, though, I would hope.
He's a lot stronger, too.
Yeah, that's true.
That's very, very important.
That
might get him on the field a lot.
So you're saying bring Schrader in, but bring him more in as like, we're planning on starting you in a year or two, but bring in a grad transfer.
Well, no, I think Schrader will compete. I think he'll be in legit competition with Malik next year and might win the job. I just don't think he is a guy that I'm like, okay, Louisville gets him.
We're looking for the fix.
The starter.
We're looking to get another grad transfer, so we might have a three-way battle for the starting quarterback.
Probably a transfer I say a JUCO and a grad transfer minimum.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, like an instant grad transfer. I'll tell you what, we got to take our first commercial break. When we come back, recruiting flip conversations definitely coming up. See y'all at the finish line tomorrow. Middays with Marcus Maben on 939 The Ville.
To kick off the season of giving, DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, has new promotions and odds boosts every day this week. With football teams hunting for the playoffs and basketball season just getting underway, there's no better place to get in on all of the action. DraftKings Sportsbook has endless ways for you to bet. From live betting to betting on your favorite players, they do it all. DraftKings is safe, reliable, and secure, making it easy for you to deposit and withdraw your money at your convenience. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code WLCL when you sign up and get a deposit bonus up to $1,000. That's code WLCL to get a deposit bonus up to $1,000 for a limited time. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older. Indiana only. Bonus comprised of a first deposit bonus. Deposit bonus requires 25 times playthrough. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Hey, Card Nation, let's be honest. The real estate market in Kentucky is booming. And whether you want to buy or sell a home, now is the perfect time to do it. With interest rates at an all-time low and programs that can get you in a home for no money down. Want to learn more? It's simple. Just call Derek A. Stewart with Dream JP Pirtle. Derek is available virtually around the clock to listen, understand, and help you with all your realtor needs. So don't waste another second. Call Derek A. Stewart at 502-314-9868 today.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider and are only available if the provider determines a prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. See website for full details and important safety information.
Hey guys, good news. The outrageously expensive little blue pill is now generic, which means you can get the prescription medication to treat ED at affordable prices. And Hims makes it extra affordable. You pay just $30 for a month's supply. And right now, get your first online doctor's visit totally free when you go to forhims.com/real. That's right. Free, zero copay, no expensive appointments, no awkward face-to-face conversations to get your prescription. Hims connects you to doctors online who can evaluate you and, if appropriate, prescribe your ED medication. And a pharmacy sends it right to your door. Hims makes it affordable, private, and incredibly easy. Nobody likes dealing with ED. Now, thanks to Hims, nobody has to. And that's really good news. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/real. That's forhims.com/real for your free online visit. forhims.com/real.
The holidays are here, and so is the Built for the Holidays sales event at O'Brien Ford. It's the most wonderful time of the year to buy. Right now, save up to $5,500 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford Escape, or up to $6,500 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford Edge. Save big this holiday season at O'Brien Ford, just a short drive to Shelbyville. Drive a little, save a lot, or visit o'brienford.com.
Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas.
Have you been in a car wreck? Insurance companies can be really tough to deal with on your own. I'm Sam Aguiar, and our team is here to help. We have been fortunate enough to represent thousands of people from Kentucky communities, and we would love to speak with you about your potential case. Our team loves what we do. The consultation for you is free, and we don't charge you anything unless we win the case for you. So come be a part of our team. Our phone number is easy, 502-888-8888. 502-888-8888.
Visit Shane Company for gifts of fine jewelry in every price range, wrapped with a burgundy bow and ready to give. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business.
'Twas the holiday season, and many families felt glee, for they shopped at Kroger, where pickup was free. Green beans and apples, a salad so merry, sweet onions and Brussels, and cakes topped with cherries. Whipped mashed potatoes and warm spiral ham take center stage for a feast with the fam. May the magic of fresh food never be done. Happy holidays from Kroger, fresh for everyone. Free pickup on orders of $35 or more. Restrictions may apply.
Your eyes are unique. The color, the shape, even the way our world appears through them. At Dr. Black's Eye Associates, our approach to eye care is as unique to you as your eyes. For over 30 years, our family of doctors have helped protect, restore, and improve the vision of families across Kentuckiana, and we will continue while following all CDC guidelines. We want you to know that we are still here and we care. Trust your vision to the local specialist at Dr. Black's Eye Associates. Call 888-EYE-CARE to schedule an appointment today. Dr. Black's Eye Associates. See life clearly.
Pay off your holiday bills with a new job at UPS. Join Team Louisville as a warehouse worker and earn $14.50 per hour to start. You could also graduate debt-free. Be part of an industry-leading organization that believes in promoting from within. Enjoy an active job with big-time growth opportunities. Search and apply now at upsjobs.com/worldport. That's upsjobs.com/worldport.
When you can't get to Double Dogs, bring Double Dogs to you. All you need to do is fetch and go. With choices like Black Angus burgers, wings tossed in homemade sauces, and dog bowl nachos. Double Dogs will make sure everyone in your family can enjoy their favorites. Now offering family-style dinner deals for a limited time. See our menu at www.doubledogs.biz and then give us a call to order. Come pick your order up curbside today at the Middletown Commons location. Take the night off and let Double Dogs do the cooking with Fetch and Go.
We are proud to partner with our favorite go-to caffeinated beverage, Focus. Not Focus with an F, but with a PH.
When the reality of COVID-19 hit, our friends at Focus donated over 200,000 cans of Focus to nearly 400 hospitals across the U.S. to keep those on the front lines fueled.
And good news, now you can find Focus at more Kroger's, Thornton's, Liquor Barn, and Party Mart, as well as all the usual spots like Rainbow Blossom, Heine Brothers, Paul's Fruit Market, and CVS.
Or save 15% when you use code ESPN15 at www.drinkfocus.com. Focus, Focus. Try it today.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
Welcome back. It's middays with Marcus, baby, and 8150 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the
at Notre Dame. I sent that to him yesterday. I was like, hey, this would be great.
Oh, you had that ready for the opening of the show.
No, not for the opening.
Oh,
just to come back with. No, your opening was awesome.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah.
I even told him like right now. I was like, I totally forgot about that, but I downloaded it, and I know this is a day late, but I'm still gonna play it.
And it was still good, man. I like that. So that was pretty awesome. So
okay, we're still talking football. We're still talking.
Are
we talking recruits? Okay.
Yeah. Tomorrow.
Before we move forward, I want to get your gauge on the level of anxiety. I also want to open. That one up to the listeners. If you have an anxiety level, because here's the thing, I was going to put it into tiers of, the first guy in the transfer portal, let's say, was Puma Pass.
Okay.
Anybody who thought Puma Pass announcing that he was transferring is a direct reflection on Satterfield and his coaching situation.
Right.
I'm gonna eliminate that person from this from conversation like this.
Yeah.
Do you understand why? Like what I'm saying with that? Like Puma listen.
We've known this should happen.
We've known this for 2 or 3 years almost. You know what I'm saying? That Puma Pass is a high candidate for transfer, and nobody will blame Puma Pass.
We debated it all last summer if he was going to do it last summer.
Right. And he stayed through it. So if you jump on there and say, see, Puma Pass is leaving, the coach is going to lose or it's because coach is playing with other teams. That means you're so dug in on coach, coach has lost the locker room, coach has lost the team, right? You're so dug in on that point that you're willing to use Puma Pass as your example. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, no, like that guy is out of this conversation.
Yeah, I agree with that. I totally agree with that.
I actually
good call texter on the Notre Dame recruit.
T Webb was probably the only one that I kind of gave a pass to say, okay, now T Webb, I'll have that conversation. Now I don't think it's the case because I think his lack of playing time was the transfer reason.
Yeah,
and let's not forget, people, the number one position, impact and transfer position in college sports is the quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's probably the quarterback. It's definitely the quarterback in football.
Okay.
Like they have the most transfers, quarterbacks, because they can go and make an impact immediately.
No, absolutely, and there's the least amount on a roster.
Right.
I mean, a lot of times you only have 2 or 3, 4 tops on a roster.
So you move a quarterback. You don't stay 4 years on a bench out of school as a quarterback if you're any good.
Yeah, no, I agree, and that's why I think you'll see a lot of Louisville fans root for Puma Pass too,
right?
To hope he does well wherever he ends up. The quarterback, but I will say, out of yesterday, and again, you're going to see more in the coming days. A lot won't be transfers as much as you're going to see a lot of. I wouldn't, and this is no inside knowledge, but I said this on the stream last night. I also wouldn't totally rule out a senior transfer up, like a John Gernard style,
right?
That says, "Hey, I got 1 year left. There's a wide open safety spot."
But thank goodness
Auburn
we ended the year on a good defensive note, man.
We did. We did.
Yeah, with Syracuse and Wake Forest.
Mm-hmm.
Like your defense put on enough shows to make people say, I really like the growth here.
Well, and we are bringing a lot in on defense.
It might save you some roster spots.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that, man. I'm looking forward to. But I think that I'm good. I do think there'll be a couple. Like I said, Goldwire may be a guy that has a decision to make. Like I said,
I would love to get him back, but
Marlon Character is the one I'm really watching. I would love to get him back, but I get it if he goes in and takes a shot. Yeah, so is Marlon.
Yes, I know, but you're saying the extra.
Yeah, no, I'm
good.
saying that. Yeah, I'm just talking about those guys because I do think you're going to hear guys that are going to go ahead and move on or go pro out of the seniors because I do think it's one of those things.
4 years of college is tough,
and it's this is uncomfortable. People don't like to talk about, but also I like to hear. I was reading the text, not like to hear. I also think that there is a portion of it that is okay. We come in here. These are the players that were here. We had a great year. We had one that was not so great. It's time to kind of move on from each other. And it's uncomfortable.
Elaborate on that.
Because usually you don't have to do it the way Coach Satterfield and them are having to do it right now. Because usually there's no eligibility left and these guys are just moving on now. This year they can come back. So it's like even the ones that are really good, I don't know what a CJ Avery, may do. He's another one I think I'm kind of keeping an eye on that I wouldn't mind having back. But I think to an extent, it's like, okay, I do have a lot of these young guys who don't know anything about Bobby Petrino and don't know anything about the 2 and 10 year. That and I don't really need y'all talking to them about it.
Look no further. Exhibit A. And speaking of uncomfortable things, everybody who's a smart athlete fan base saw it immediately. They look like they got different attitudes on my basketball court.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a different coach is coaching this team.
Yeah.
This is not swing it around the perimeter, shoot the ball.
Right.
We thought that was the coach doing that the whole time.
Yeah.
Why does the coach have Jordan, Ryan, and these guys just throwing it around the circle and jacking up 3-pointers?
Absolutely.
We saw it. And then we saw a team this year like, this is not the same style.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recognize this. What year is this for Coach Mack?
3. Yep. That's a good point. That's a great point. So, separate the previous. Because here's the thing. We saw some of that quitter look against Georgia Tech. Oh, yeah.
And the biggest fear was, I recognize this look.
Uh-huh.
I recognize this attitude. I recognize this give up.
Yeah.
So fans can trust their eyes a little more than they believe, than they realize they can.
Yeah, and that's why I think that there might be a little bit of that too, where it's kind of like, even the ones that it's like, yeah, you can play, but let's move on. Let's get a new crop in here. Because look, what would this
new behavior? Yeah.
What if this team this year, this Louisville basketball team, as much as we're loving them, and this is no shade because I think these are all great guys, but you were on it last year when I said, oh, I'd like to have this guy and this guy and this guy back. And you were like, yeah, but if they do, this guy, and this guy is not getting a shot at all. And it's like, would we love this team more if Ryan, Dwayne, and Fresh had come back? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm using those because I think Steve was going to move on, Jordan was going to move on, whatever, But like, I don't know, like I kind of like, midsummer, you're like, oh, you can get Dwayne and Ryan back. I'm like, yeah,
you get to re-educate, you reintroduce, a style.
And I think next year's football team will have a lot of the vibe this basketball team has.
It's difficult to bench a Russ Yeast who may obviously have the better bag of skills.
Yeah.
In a practice.
Sack.
No, bag. Like bag of tools. Right?
Okay.
So you get Russ, but you get all of Russ.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You get this whole bag.
So Russ he causes the fumble.
Yeah.
But he gives up the most.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, in practice, he's a consummate professional. So you get that part, but you get the, okay, let's say younger guy gives up the most or let's say he gets a 15-yard penalty. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you yell at Russ and you say, Russ, tackle that guy when you know you're beat. Let's say the guy who's not as, who doesn't have as much, experience as Russ, but knows to tackle a guy when he got me.
Sure.
It may save you that guy might end up being a better player for you. Different demeanors. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I am.
Listen, I'm with you. And that's what I say. I mean, I do think next year is going to be a year with this football team where you're going to come right in. You're going to go to Atlanta. You're going to play Ole Miss. I just think that it's going to be a very reminiscent of this basketball season and stuff. So, I mean,
I think T Webb didn't play. I think he was the lowest man on the totem pole in the quarterback room.
Open weekdays 9 till 9, Saturday 10 till 8, and Sunday 11 to 5.
Have you been in a car wreck? Insurance companies can be really tough to deal with on your own. I'm Sam Aguiar, and our team is here to help. We have been fortunate enough to represent thousands of people from Kentucky communities, and we would love to speak with you about your potential case. Our team loves what we do. The consultation for you is free, and we don't charge you anything unless we win the case for you. So come be a part of our team. Our phone number is easy, 502-888-8888. 502-888-8888.
Pay off your holiday bills with a new job at UPS. Join Team Louisville as a warehouse worker and earn $14.50 per hour to start. Search and apply now at upsjobs.com/worldport. That's upsjobs.com/worldport.
Now that sports have officially kicked off, there's only 4 things missing from your playbook. 4 pegs. Looking for great smoked wings? 4 pegs. Looking for juicy barbecue and award-winning chili? 4 pegs. If you're just looking for some cold crab, tap, can, or bottled beer, 4 pegs. And the best part about 4 pegs is it's right around the corner at 1053 Goss Avenue in Germantown. So you better get over there fast because the word is spreading. And while you're over there, be sure to ask about their food truck and other catering services.
An official broadcast partner of the University of Louisville, WLCL Sellersburg is 93.9 The Ville. Time now for an ESPN Louisville Sports Center update.
Good morning, I'm Brian Hall. The Sports Center update brought to you by Caesars Southern Indiana. Come, see, conquer at Caesars Southern Indiana. As the Louisville football season comes to a close, several players have announced that they will not be back with next year's team, as quarterbacks Jawan Pass and T. Webb, as well as Russ Yeast and Anthony Johnson, have entered the transfer portal. Meanwhile, linebacker Rajay Burns has declared for the NFL draft. Moving on to the Kentucky side, the Cats' search for an offensive coordinator could come to a close as early as today. And the current favorites to land the job are Rams assistant quarterbacks coach Liam Cohen and Missouri quarterbacks coach Bush Hamden. Both Louisville and Kentucky continue to make their final push for their 2020 recruiting class as National Signing Day starts tomorrow. The new AP polls for college basketball were released yesterday, and the men's team comes in at number 23, with the women's team staying at number 2. The number 2 ranked women's team is set to host Miami, Florida on Sunday at 1 o'clock at the KFC Yum Center. The number 23 ranked Louisville men's basketball team is set to take on number 12 Wisconsin this Saturday. The game was originally scheduled for last week, but due to COVID, it was postponed. Now that matchup between the Cards and the Badgers is set to tip off at noon on Saturday, and you can catch it on ESPN2. And last but certainly not least, just a reminder that ESPN Louisville is your exclusive home for the NFL all season. We carried last night's Monday Night Football action between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns, with the Ravens emerging with a 47-42 victory. Quarterback Lamar Jackson left the game for a short period of time, but returned for this key late 44-yard touchdown pass to Brown.
Dobbins on his right hip in the shotgun. He takes the snap, back to pass. He rolls right. He's throwing down the field, and it is caught. Marquise Brown's got it, and he's going to go in for a touchdown.
Jackson finished the game with 286 total yards and 3 touchdowns. Keep it locked here. Middays with Marcus Maben is next. This is SportsCenter.
Splurging on a truly magical gift for your loved one to help turn this emotional year around is a no-brainer at Genesis Diamonds. Now through Christmas Eve on any purchase at Genesis, you get nothing down and pay 0 interest for 5 whole years. That engagement ring, eternity band, or 5-stone ring you've been thinking about is only $100 a month. Diamond pendants and colored gemstones for $50 a month. Even diamond hoops, studs, and stackable rings for just $30 a month. And all with no money down. And if you're thinking of popping the question over the holidays, what a special way to turn this year around. We've expanded our large rare diamond selection just for you with thousands of new designer rings. You put no money down and you won't pay a dime in interest for 5 whole years. Your special someone deserves that unforgettable holiday moment. And Genesis Diamonds is here with our best financing ever. And our non-commissioned experts are here to help you make it happen. Happy holidays from Genesis Diamonds. Shelbyville Road Plaza. Open this Sunday on approved credit.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
OPC Past Services Studio. Now, here's...
Welcome back. Welcome back. It's Middays with Marcus Maben, 8150. 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station. People, temperature control is one of the most valuable resources one can have. If you agree, then DFH Company is the company for you. Simply dial 968-6222 or look them up online at DFH Company. Inquire about their Mitsubishi Mini Split, because everybody has that hard to heat or hard to cool room in your home. Again, 968-6222. Or look them up online at dfhcompany.com.
Also, DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is wishing you the happiest of holidays. And to kick off the season of giving, DraftKings has new promotion and odds boost every day this week. Lucky for us sports fans, there's an abundance of action taking place this week, which there really is. Saturday is loaded.
We got Wisconsin.
Wisconsin,
at 12
Louisville.
o'clock. I get to see it early.
Listen, and I'm doing macro here, but I mean, I've got Wisconsin, Louisville.
I was being selfish.
I've got Florida, Alabama. I've got Notre Dame, Clemson. Like, it's going to be an awesome
West
day.
Kentucky, Alabama.
Yeah.
Okay. So
football teams are in the hunt to secure their place in the playoffs. I'm just kidding, Brian.
no, I knew you were going to do that. That's why I threw it in there.
Well, basketball season is just getting underway. Actually, I will be watching that one because I kind of want to see Western. I mean, Alabama's,
it's
SEC
at 2
team.
o'clock right after the Louisville game.
Yeah.
So it's,
That'd be
good matchup.
perfect. Probably get to watch Kentucky lose again too. I think, don't they play Saturday? I think they got UCLA Saturday.
What time they play?
I don't know.
It can't be 12.
Bet against them. If you haven't tried DraftKings Sportsbook yet, head to the App Store now because you don't want to miss this. DraftKings Sportsbook's giving all new users a deposit bonus up to $1,000 when signing up using promo code WLCL. DraftKings Sportsbook has endless ways for you to bet, from live betting to betting on your favorite players. They do it all. This weekend is set to be action-packed, so head to the App Store now and get in on all the excitement. We just gave you a parlay to take, so get in there.
Kentucky, 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. There you go. DraftKings. So, okay. Louisville, take Louisville. I'm sure there'll be an underdog. Take Louisville, take UCLA, and take Western. There we go. Parlay that. Let's win some money. This weekend is set to be action. Oh, I'd already read that. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable, making it easy for you to deposit and withdraw your money at your convenience. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code WLCL when you sign up. Get a deposit bonus up to $1,000. That's code WLCL when you get that deposit bonus up to $1,000 for a limited time only. The DraftKings Sportsbook, you must be 21 or older. Indiana only. Bonus comprised of a first deposit bonus. Deposit requires 25 times playthrough. Deposit bonus requires 25 times playthrough. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Also, while we're in the mood of giving shout outs, I want to double down on if your favorite restaurant is still blessed and lucky enough to still be open, please support them. Dine in, take out. In particular, 4 Pegs, 1053 Goss Avenue. You will not be disappointed. Have their wings. They're going to have a menu with mutton and burnt tip. What do you call it? Rib tips, and they have all the good stuff. So try them out or ask around. Ask anybody who's tried it. 4 Pegs, 1053 Goss Avenue. It is definitely worth it.
Oh yeah,
and they must be, like I said, to still be open, still be kicking and screaming through means their food has to be really, really good.
And they're one of those places you compare to because we had some wings down in Tennessee this week, and me and the wife were talking, and we were like, "Man, this is like Chris makes, man." yeah. We were like, "These wings are like Chris makes."
That's when you know it's a standard. Okay, Steve. I floated this one out here enough.
Okay.
You and I have a long-standing respect for powerhouse programs.
Sure.
It doesn't matter if they're down; they can be back in a heartbeat. Powerhouse programs.
Mm-hmm.
It's the reason. You bring up any team. Bad. Bad leadership. It'll hold you down like a weight.
Yeah.
But I always say the real soul of the program is throughout the city. It's the people. It's the soul of the program. It's the people who can still support, who are strong enough to still support a program through downtimes, knowing, like people are invested. So that's why I say your investment in your program is the true program strength. It's little moments like these, Steve, where it could be a Satterfield thing. It could be a Louisville facility thing. It could be a program strength thing. It could be a Lamar Jackson holdover thing, the swaggy kind of university thing. There's a player, people. Steve said this in the family room, but I think we're kind of in a radio family room right now.
Right.
Let me just give you a quote Steve said. He can apologize if he wants to. I'll apologize for calling him out on the radio.
Okay.
Steve said, "Oh, this guy doesn't belong at Louisville." Do y'all know what he meant by that? Sometimes dudes are different. You can tell right away they're different. Like the joke I made just a few minutes ago we were looking at a player on Louisville's team, and the best compliment I could give to him was that guy would throw a shoe in the middle of a game.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't think we need those kind of guys on your team that play to the echo of the whistle, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Now look, you don't want the penalty.
Yeah.
You want a teammate close to him enough to yell, no, but you want him to think about throwing that shoe across the field because he's so enraged with passion.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you want a guy to
Sorry, I just sent you something.
You want a guy to tackle a guy, rip off his shoe, stand over him, and with the shoe, realize the shoe's in his hand, and you want him to load it up, and then you want the big old, Mekhi Becton looking dude, no, and then him drop that shoe and go celebrate with his team.
Yeah, absolutely.
No penalty, but he made the play, even though he thought about it and he was gonna chuck that shoe. There's still an attitude with the shoe thrower guy.
Mm-hmm.
Prince Coley.
Mm-hmm.
We were in the door for him a long time ago, y'all.
Right.
And when we were thinking big time, when we were shooting big dreams and, just Casada feels, he's getting into some doors that are awesome. Number 2 player in the state of Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
You pluck one of those guys,
mm-hmm.
be careful.
Yeah.
Because your momentum goes, right? We're getting them, or we're in the door. The edits come out and the final list.
LSU, Tennessee, Notre Dame, Louisville.
Say that again.
LSU, Tennessee, Notre Dame, Louisville.
So you get on a list like that, right? We say, he sounds like he really likes Louisville, but we're not going to be able to get him to the finish line.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's too big of a name. His upside's too big. Notre Dame, we kind of knew Notre Dame is who we were battling, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, rumor has it, as of late, Notre Dame DC goes to Vandy. There's a couple of schools in the SEC that aren't considered good jobs, good coaching jobs.
Yeah.
Who would you put in that in the SEC schools that aren't considered really good, where I can flourish?
As a player or as a coach?
As a player.
As a player, Vandy, Kentucky.
We'll just stop right there.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably it.
Okay. That's considered a place where you just can't flourish. Have you seen Vanderbilt's turf and stadium?
It's disgusting.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, their facilities are.
So you won't blame a kid and say, okay, well, Notre Dame, I don't like that situation. But I still got LSU and Tennessee and whoever else, and anybody I call is going to take me, like, of course, because I'm the number 2
mm-hmm.
player, linebacker. Actually, what is his position ranked nationally for his position? Linebacker, outside linebacker in the country.
7.
He was, I think he was, he was.
Might have been closer to 5.
I think it was 5. Yeah, on 247.
So if I tell you,
number 91 overall player,
the number 5 linebacker, outside linebacker in the country, you kind of lost them to just big boy names, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What if I told you, people, after all that, all of a sudden there was communication.
Number 5.
There was communication between said player and the University of Louisville. What if I told you, rumor has it, it was one call, and Steve and I kind of argued about how it went. Steve said, and again, this is fabrication of a story, but you guys trust us, right? Our word is our bond on this radio show. So you trust us when we say this is a completely made up story.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, coach, you still interested? Hold on a second, Prince. Hey guys, who's our top, so-and-so or find a recruit, tell him he's gonna gray shirt. He gets back on the phone, he says, yes. That was the way Steve presented that conversation.
Right.
I got upset with Steve because I said, no, Steve, that's not how the conversation went. Conversation went more like this. Hey coach, you still interested? Yes. Okay, bye. Hey, get somebody off the board. Tell them you're getting a gray shirt or something. You don't have to communicate when a guy like that is on the phone or Skype or DMs or any kind of communication. So when you're still the first call off of something like that, and again, Steve's respect for the Boo Bud program will not let him get as excited. But Steve is actually like talking about the finish line and getting that production. And there's no way we get this guy to the finish line in here. Marcus likes to smell the roses. Marcus says, just a rumor, a legit sourced rumor, by the way.
Yeah.
That this is your first call when it don't work out at Notre Dame. Confirms things that I tell you all the time, people. Louisville ends up second to sometimes outside influence.
Yeah.
Sometimes just name. This is the best place for me, but I can't say no to this name.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
If you're fighting recruiting in that world, let's do it. Let's do it. If I know, because here's the thing. When you build up that reputation, that's why you get the grad transfers that can ball. That's why you get the Carlick Jones instantly. That's why you get the, I watched this guy do. I'm a defensive back. I watched Keitrell Clark go to Louisville. I know he got game. I remember him from Georgia back in the day. I know he got game. Man, y'all hear Keitrell transfer to Louisville? Yeah, I'm gonna watch that game tonight. Clark is out there looking like Jair, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's getting these deflections, doing the whole, the whole cornerback celebration, all that stuff. Crowd is live. They're saying, I'm telling you what, folks, this guy from Liberty is a player. So you see that and you hear that and you see all those like I said, you see the transfers and the history. That's how you build up. Because you have listen. It's just like the Thursday thing from back in the day. Oh, Thursday, nobody watches Thursday. Yeah, no, yes, they do. They do. There's a market for football on Thursday. You got to be willing to corner grad transfer markets like Rick did. You got to be willing to work the grad transfer and get through the, you got a guy from Richmond. Richmond wasted y'all ass. But you get the point. You have to corner those markets with transfer or second call.
Yeah.
You weren't the first choice. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We were the first call after the first choice fall through. Then you start getting the guys the first time.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that, Steve. What are the odds you get them home?
Listen, if Coach Satterfield, because here's the thing, on defense, this class, they have done an exceptional job on defense in this class with what they're adding. They're bringing in a few guys, Williams, Perry, Brown, that can, I think Quinn, that can play right away. If he lands this kid tomorrow and completes this, because I'm still like, I don't know, man. Like, I wish you don't want to get. I'm just like, dude, can you? I hope you can.
I don't want to say you can lose a guy to a bag at the last minute.
If he
a guy like this
gets Prince Coley to flip tomorrow, Frederick's back.
I can't believe you just said that, Steve.
Listen, if you want to,
y'all hear what Steve is saying, right?
If he can get this kid here, I'm telling you, go type his name in to Twitter. Notre Dame fans are freaking out. I'm watching Notre Dame fans. I'm reading down through it. That's what I was doing while you were talking some. I was reading through there and I was seeing them go, tell us about Prince Coley. Look, tagging Prince Coley. I mean, Russ Yeast didn't come here, and now he's transferring. Like, I mean, they are freaking out.
Are they throwing the whole full shade route?
Yeah,
with the Russ Yeast comparison, Steve.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
Man, listen. If they get him, like I said, Frederick Scott Satterfield. Frederick with the C, put some respect on it.
Do y'all hear what this man is saying? And here's the thing. I back him 1,050% on this one. Actually, he's backing me up on this one because I know everybody gets lost in the I'm mad right now stuff.
Yeah.
And I know what it feels like to go from a loss to a win. And people, like, you're denying yourself an endorphin that God gave you, right? To have a bad day today and a great day tomorrow. And then this endorphin keeps you from having a bad week.
Yeah.
Or a bad year.
Yeah.
And y'all are suppressing that endorphin by not enjoying something like this.
Mm-hmm.
No, a Notre Dame snipe.
Let me listen.
Like you ever caught somebody on Call of Duty from like long range, like really, really long range, where you just lock in with that, you lock in with your scope, right? And you know they have no idea. You just got them in your sights, and then you just pop them, and they're just like, oh my God, what was that? And you know that feeling, just like, yeah, I'm out here, baby.
Listen to this. I'm going to read you 2 quotes from people who have played with Prince Coley, right? This is from reading an article from him about a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
It says, Prince Coley is up next in the teammates' perspective view. So this is people that have played against him or with him.
Mm-hmm.
These are the quotes. I mean, he's hit a few guys. I just don't know how they got back up, to be honest. Here's the other one. They're just like, guys are coming back to the sidelines saying, this guy's just too much for me, and I'm ready to go home. I'm like,
that's why Steve said what he said, people, when he said, yeah, this not, I can't have a guy like this at Louisville.
Man, listen.
Stalking people.
Yeah. Yeah.
With attitude.
Yeah.
So the C is back in Frederick.
Yeah. Frederick will be back.
And look, eliminate the back of the mind, negative energy.
You want to see how you can win a fan base over? Flip that kid.
Flip that kid tomorrow on signing day.
Yeah.
And talk about getting him on your squad.
Man. And it was funny. Coach Brown said this morning in the interview with Drew. I mean, that was a good interview, man, with Coach Brown. Like, we haven't played an interview in a while, and that one would be a candidate, man. I mean, I know we still got stuff to talk about, but goodness
we'll check
gracious,
the time on that one then, Brian.
He was awesome. And he was like, listen, he said, he said, yeah, he said, we're working on signing a few guys, or, he said, he said, and, he was so swag. It was awesome. He was like, they signed a couple elsewhere.
Mike still a couple.
Yeah, like it was just.
I'll tell you what.
Awesome.
We'll check on that sound. We'll take our last commercial break. Middays with Marcus Maben on 939 The Ville.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider and are only available if the provider determines a prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. See website for full details and important safety information.
Hey guys, good news. The outrageously expensive little blue pill is now generic, which means you can get the prescription medication to treat ED.
I'm pulling it up. Hold on.
And Hims makes it extra affordable. You pay just $30 for a month's supply. And right now, get your first online doctor's visit totally free when you go to 4hims.com/real. That's right, free. Zero copay, no expensive appointments, no awkward face-to-face conversations to get your prescription. Hims connects you to doctors online who can evaluate you and, if appropriate, prescribe your ED medication. And a pharmacy sends it right to your door. Hims makes it affordable, private, and incredibly easy. Nobody likes dealing with ED. Now, thanks to Hims, nobody has to. And that's really good news. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/real. That's forhims.com/real for your free online visit. forhims.com/real.
When you are buying or selling a home, you have a ton of questions that need to be answered. Well, what if I could answer those questions with 3 simple words? Call Josh Jarbo. Josh specializes in residential real estate, getting buyers the home of their dreams and sellers top dollar for their home with the best negotiating skills in the industry. And if you tell him you heard about him right here, you'll receive up to a $5,000 seller's credit. So contact Josh Jarbo today at 502-216-7590 or joshjarbo@remax.net.
When you can't get to Double Dogs, bring Double Dogs to you. All you need to do is fetch and go. With choices like Black Angus burgers, wings tossed in homemade sauces, and dog bowl nachos. Double Dogs will make sure everyone in your family can enjoy their favorites. Now offering family-style dinner deals for a limited time. See our menu at www.doubledogs.biz and then give us a call to order. Come pick your order up curbside today at the Middletown Commons location. Take the night off and let Double Dogs do the cooking with Fetch and Go.
We are proud to partner with our favorite go-to caffeinated beverage, Focus. Not Focus with an F, but with a PH.
When the reality of COVID-19 hit, our friends at Focus donated over 200,000 cans of Focus to nearly 400 hospitals across the U.S. to keep those on the front lines fueled.
And good news, now you can find Focus at more Kroger's, Thornton's, Liquor Barn, and Party Mart.
It's 8 minutes.
Spots like Rainbow Blossom, Heine Brothers, Paul's Fruit Market, and CVS.
Or save 15% when you use code ESPN15 at www.drinkfocus.com. Focus, Focus. Try it today.
Here's what you missed on The Drive with Mark Ennis.
So when I was at George Mason, I was very nervous for our first home basketball game. And I had my buddy, he ended up being my big brother in the fraternity I was in for like 2 months. So we're talking and I'm super nervous. I got sweaty hands. I'm getting ready. I'm a freshman. And so he's like, well, why don't we just have a beer? And I'm like, I got a game. I got to go in like 30 minutes. He's like, well, it'd just be one beer. So I shotgunned a beer right before the game. And so I shotgunned a beer. I played really well, like really well. So I shotgunned a beer before every home game of my college career, all 4 years of playing. And I was a redshirt.
Every home game
before I left, just because I was stuck on the routine. I played well that first game.
So you became basically like superstitious, almost like you'd be afraid to not do.
Exactly.
The Drive, weekdays 3 to 6 on 93.9 The Ville.
Mark Ennis here, telling you about my friends at Bosch Lawn Care. For the past few years, I've trusted Bosch Lawn Care with my yard maintenance at my house. That's mowing, weed eating, trimming bushes, cleaning mulch installation, and much more. Get yourself out of hours of work in the yard when you could be kicking back and enjoying time with your family and friends. Call 833-2GET-CUT. That's 833-243-8288 or visit them online at BoschLawnCare.com. Trust the lawn experts I trust. They're professional, affordable. Bosch Lawn Care.
Now that turning on the heat in your home is a common event, if you're not sure your heating system is ready for the winter months ahead, it may be time to call who we call at the station DFH Company. Heating and cooling has been their family business since 1935. This month from DFH, you can get 18 months special financing on qualified Trane comfort systems from the DFH Company. It's hard to start up a Trane, and it's hard to not call DFH Company today at 968-6222 or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Visit dfhcompany.com for complete program eligibility, dates, details, and restrictions. Subject to credit approval.
Here's what you missed on The Drive with Mark Ennis.
We talk about misreading the room. If you didn't know and anticipate that interviewing with South Carolina right now would fire up the natives here, that's a you problem.
The Drive, weekdays 3 to 6 on 93.9 The Ville.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC.
Browns 8 minutes. Yeah, it's only 8 minutes, so we can do it whenever. Okay.
Middays with Marcus Maben on 93.9 The Ville is broadcasting live from the OPC Pest Services studio. Now, here's Marcus Maben and Steve Rummy.
Welcome back. It's midday from Marcus Maven, 8150. 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station. Every show I have to take a moment, people, just to talk about something funny between our relationships, because it's important that we let y'all like enjoy the ride of this whole entire 93.9 experiment that we have turned into a major success.
Absolutely.
The behind the scenes are almost as important as what's on the front. So Brian, something happened the other day. The last day Steve and I were in the studio. We were going to my car, right? You know where I park at, right?
Yeah.
You know where Steve parks at?
Yes.
We park, we're along the same path, but Steve's car is, on the other side of the lot, right?
Yeah.
So I was kind of about a 6 or 7 foot distance away. We were socially distancing properly in the garage, right? And my car's on the right side. Steve's is on the other side. So Steve walks, he stops and walks kind of like the long way around to the right side on my, towards my car, right? So when I saw it, I was assuming Steve didn't want to split the pole, right? Judging by your look, you have no idea what I'm talking about, do you?
I'm trying to think about it. The pole.
You know how the garage has the columns.
Yeah. So I know what you're saying now. Okay, I know where you're at.
Okay, so Steve looked at me when I was like, "Oh, you just trying not to split the pole?" And he was like, "What are you talking about?" So I'm like, "Steve, you've never heard of not splitting the pole? Texters or a caller? Is this something, or is this country Bama Marcus Maben don't split telephone poles when you're walking with your friends?" I know this was a thing with my friends.
Like, don't step on a crack, break your mama's back.
Did you know that one, Steve?
I do know that one.
You know that
I do know that one.
Okay. You do know so. Okay. Broken mirror.
7 years bad luck.
Yeah, broken mirror.
Okay.
Yeah.
Salt over your right shoulder.
Yeah,
that's bad luck too.
That was Dumb and Dumber.
Yes.
You hadn't heard it before then?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, like the.
Okay. Walk under a ladder.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yes, I know that one because Shawn Michaels used to do that before in ladder matches. He would go underneath the ladder, and they were like, "Oh, bad luck."
Shut up. Yeah. That's where you learned that.
Yeah.
That is funny. Black Cat. Okay, sweeping over someone's feet.
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't know that one.
You sweep like when you sweeping, like don't sweep on somebody's feet.
I wouldn't do that anyway, but yeah.
Just accidentally. You might just be rushing and sweeping.
Yeah. I got you.
And yeah, like you can't do that.
You knew the Black Cat one though?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, of course. Bloody Mary.
Yep. I've never done that though. That's freaking weird.
What is it, like 3 times or something? Yeah.
How much would you have to be paid to do that, Brian?
I don't know.
Give me a number.
Probably not a whole lot to try.
There's not a number for me. Y'all
Steve,
crazy.
there's a number you would Bloody Mary at 12 o'clock midnight in the window.
You want to get Steve Rummage out the house, pull out like a Ouija board or something. I'll be like, yeah, I'm out, y'all. Hey, look, y'all can y'all want to play with Satan? Go ahead. Like, I'm not messing with that. I ain't playing. But, hey, look, I got a line, man. I'm like, no, heck no.
Listen, I shouldn't do this. Don't split poles, period. Wait, don't rock a rocking chair that no one's in. I didn't know that one. Did you know that one? Don't rock a rocking chair that no one's in.
It's definitely creepy.
What about don't push someone out of the bathroom in Indianapolis?
Do you know what he's referring to, Brian?
I don't, but I'm assuming this is the time y'all hung out with Patino.
We've told this story on there before. The drunk guy that just wheeled Marcus right up out the bathroom.
Oh, I think I do.
The supporter, the super fan.
He's a very nice guy. He was a very nice guy.
But listen.
But he almost got beat up. Because I was I'm making eye contact with Marcus. I'm like, is this something that we need to do?
It's a long way. So Steve watched this for imagine 50 yards indoors.
Yeah.
And Steve's just staring at a guy just push. He don't know if I'd have had passed out in the bathroom or something.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, okay, so do I need to take this guy out? What are we doing here? But yeah, it was awesome.
Don't use someone else's crutches. I've heard that. if you split the poll, be sure to say, okay, I don't know that one. Most people are split the polls. So here's the thing. I'm going to do this. And normally, y'all, if you don't know, I'm just going to pass this along. This is not a shameless promotion or a shameless plug, but it kind of is. In the evenings, I do Midnight with Marcus Maven, right? And I basically tell a story, you know what I'm saying? It's people are really enjoying it. So that chat room is, and I'm up at that time. So, I do my thing in the evening. I got tons of good stories. So you go to the YouTube channel, I'm putting together the playlist. So it'll be a separate playlist, Midnights with Marcus Maven. We usually talk a little sports and then I get into a funny story. This one should be going on the Midnight with Marcus Maven playlist, but I'll just make it short for the radio version because I want people to hear this Brian Brown interview. There's a teammate on the University of Louisville's there's a teammate of mine that played with me for 3 years at the University of Louisville. This teammate participated in the Ouija board experiment.
Okay.
I've done it once or twice.
People, after the Ouija board experiment, this dude wasn't right for a month. Right? And we knew it. We knew he wasn't right. Right? And it was kind of like people were kind of silently talking to each other like, we might want to stay away from this teammate for a little while. And teammate, you might be listening. I might put you on the Midnight with Marcus Maven story. But I won't do you on celestial radio for this one. But don't do it, y'all. Make sure you tell your kids don't do it.
No, I'll say this. Yeah, like I was always like, I'm gonna stay away from a Ouija board or whatever. And then one time in college, somebody pulled one out and I did it. And ever since then, I was like, I kind of think that might be true. I'm gonna stay away from Ouija boards going forward. I was like, that was a little bit weird for me.
I did the creepy listen to the Pink Floyd with the Wizard of Oz.
Oh yeah.
You ever done that one?
No, I haven't heard that one.
Yeah,
I thought you were gonna say the Pink Floyd Laser Light Show that used to be down here.
No. Pink Floyd. You go get an old copy of the Wizard of Oz. I was with a bunch of hippies back in the day. And ironically, I was with that player who did the Ouija board thing when I did the Wizard of Oz. And we were looking for the accident that happened in the background of the original Wizard of Oz. I'm sure everybody knows that story. If you don't, you can look it up on your own. Texas Says the Laser Show was dope. I want to add one more.
It was dope. It was so cool to come down here and watch the Pink Floyd Laser Light Show. It was at the Science Center here on campus, and they had it like every Saturday and Sunday.
I don't even want to get lost in the campus. What's the planetarium thing?
The planetarium.
Dude, that's the most underutilized, underrated facility on this campus. And I hate it because it's like one of those things like I just ruined so much childhood by saying that ain't cool. Ain't going to the planetarium, see no show. But it's like when you go do something over there, when you get forced to do something, you're like, that was one of the best things I ever done in my life.
It's not a bad date experience.
Right. So yeah, people appreciate it. Okay. Listen, I'll go off on all kinds of tangents. Hit that, Brown.
And hey, look around and the defensive coordinator's wandering around Cole. So Coach Brown, hey, thank you for coming out. And man, you just made a sizable donation. Thank you so much.
Hey, no problem at all, man. Rocco called me last night and told me about this great thing. And me and my wife talked about it. And we want to do something well for these children that are in need. And we have 2 children of our own. And we want to make sure that all these kids around this community are well represented. With all these gifts and things of that nature that's coming up Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, you can see this checkout process. They're going to be doing this for like an hour to try to to try to spend this money here.
They got a lot of work to do.
And you just gave them a bigger problem. It's going to take about another probably half hour with the money you just gave here, Coach.
Well, I appreciate it.
No, it really is, and really appreciate it. And I mean, you get a feel for this community it's a giving community. I mean, and you've ingratiated yourself into it.
Yeah. Man, this community is awesome. Being here for the last almost 2 years now. I got here in December 2018. This community, number one, loves sports, loves their team.
Yep.
But they love each other as well, and we're just so excited to be a part of it.
What did you do what did this defense do to sort of turn it around in the second half of the year?
Well, I think one thing we kept the same defense for 2 years in a row.
Amazing how that works.
Yeah, that helps a little bit.
Yeah.
But no, I think the kids, man, they got back to basic fundamentals, and we got back to tackling on Tuesday practices a little bit. One thing that we kind of let off for a little bit in fall camp because of COVID, you know. And they got the chip back on their shoulder, and they started executing. And our staff did an unbelievable job getting their guys prepared to go out there and play a game each and every Saturday. And I was pleased with them. And we still got a lot of room to grow, but we made a lot of strides this year for sure.
What I mean, when you go into a game like you did this past Saturday and you start seeing the list of guys that are out in particular positions that are ravaged, like offensive line, I mean, I know it's not your side of the ball, but you got to be thinking, that dude was a defensive lineman at Cal last year. Now he's snapping the ball 70 times.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, we kind of got a little worried there a little bit, but we just knew that the makeup of our team, you know, those guys never quit. They have that never quit mentality in the fight, you know, fighting each and every day. And we knew defensively we had to do an unbelievable job on that offense that averaged 40 points a game to be able to give our offense a chance, because we knew they would struggle a little bit early on, and they did, and then we knew they would get it going. Once they get our offense getting the flow, it's a wrap, you know, for a lot of defense. I tell you that now. It's a tough offense to try to defend, play in and play out, and when they get it rolling, oh my gosh, it's unbelievable.
How nice was it to get the win going into the offseason, given the week that it had been and the 2 weeks that it had been, to go into the offseason with some momentum here?
Oh man, it's awesome. It's awesome. We told our players, hey, you know, everybody remembers the last thing you did. What have you done for me lately? We just got to win. And so that helps, you know, being able to get a win the last game of the season, going into the off season, going into the signing day tomorrow. That helps, you know, you know, the guys have a little bit more momentum, a little bit more juice in spring ball, you know, and get ready to go for practice and things of that nature. So it helps out a whole lot.
How stressful are these next 24 hours?
Oh my gosh. Really, really stressful. I mean, it really is. I mean, I've been doing this going back since 2008, and it never gets any easier. I tell you that.
Yeah. I mean, is there any contact in the last 24? What are the rules now?
Yeah,
in the last
well,
24 hours here.
You know, right now, to be honest, I don't know what the rules are as of right now, as far as with the, you know, how the COVID year has been with these last 24. It may have changed. But the thing about it, our kids, our recruits, they hit us up more than we call those guys anyway, you know, a lot of the time. So we're not breaking any rules, I can tell you that.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just so stressful until you get the names. And do you anticipate the whole class tomorrow? Are you holding a few back, or where?
No, we anticipate the main core that have committed. We may have one or two guys that may sign that have not been committed yet. We don't know just yet. But we'll see tomorrow. So hopefully we'll be able to have to hold back a couple of scholarships, or maybe some transfers and things of that nature if need be.
And then the transfer season is now as much a part of recruiting as anything else, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's amazing, you know, what the NCAA has done, and being able to allow some of these guys to transfer for their own good. And so hopefully we won't have too many guys that leave. But the biggest thing is, you know, we want to be able to replace those guys. You know, we won't be able to replace them. You only get 25 initials.
Yeah.
And so that's the one thing about transferring. You know, you only get what you get. You can't replace, okay, if we got 25, if you got 8 guys that leave, you can't replace those 8, you know, and I think that's one thing NCAA will go back and look at and see how can they help each college out by, you know, possibly giving them, you know, more scholarships when guys do leave.
So with the COVID and the guys being able to have this sort of grace year, can you go over the 85 total then if the guys come back that were a part of this? Is that how that?
Yeah, we'll go over a little bit with the 85. I don't think a lot, you know, just because that involves a lot of money being involved. And but we'll go. I think most of ours, I mean, it's kind of working itself out because you got guys that, you know, putting their name in the NFL draft and things of that nature, and guys that want to transfer. So we won't be that far over 85 at all this year.
Did you see Lamar last night?
See who?
Did you see Lamar Jackson's game last night?
A baller.
How about that?
Man. I mean, that cat does some tremendous things that you're like, I mean, it's just like your mouth just drops open. You know? It's like, man, this guy is unreal. You can see why he was a Heisman as well as the NFL MVP.
How much is that help on the recruiting trail? Hey, by the way, you know, that was our guy.
It does. It does, especially on the offense side of football for sure. You know, that you had, you know, a lot of great quarterbacks that have come and gone, that played here in Louisville, Lamar and Teddy and all those guys, and Brom and all those kids that played here, man. And before, he had a great bunch of quarterbacks that played here. And I think that helps us in recruiting, especially on the offense side.
Yeah, well, it's pretty amazing. Any chance for a bowl? People are dropping out left and right. You guys open to it?
I don't know. As of right now, I don't think we're in for a bowl.
Yeah.
And we was hoping that we would be, at least a lot more wins than what we had. But the guys just continue to fight. And if we have a bowl, we have a bowl. But if not, I think the guys are ready to go home and visit their families. It's been a long season.
Yeah, we're still practicing as of like late or mid-December here. It's almost like you were in a bowl,
exactly.
playing last week.
It's been a long season. It's been 15, 16 weeks.
Yeah.
You're getting tested every 4 times a week. So it's been a stressful season, I can tell you.
And the coach, do you guys get tested as much too?
We do.
Yeah.
Anytime the kids get tested,
it's the nasal swab too.
Yes.
Does it ever get easy?
It never gets
Gosh,
easy.
I know. I've had it 3 times. It is never, even though it's what's coming.
Easy. And then on Fridays we would get tested by the ACC, and we'll get double nostril. So
the ACC test is double nostril.
Yeah, we get double nostrils, man.
Oh, I guess you're looking forward to an off season where you don't have to do that 4 times
Absolutely.
a week. Yeah.
This week has been awesome. We tested since Saturday, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, Coach, I can't think enough. This is such a generous donation here to this, and they're gonna not even expecting it. They got more money to spend here now, and it's really, really cool. And I can't thank you enough.
Man, we just appreciate what you guys are doing for these kids. It's an awesome thing. They're blessed to be able to have guys like you guys are a part of their lives, and that's awesome. We just appreciate you guys.
Well, Coach, thanks so much. Thanks for finding us over here in the corner of Coles.
Thank you, thank you guys for supporting the season.
All right, hey, definitely, yeah. Coach Spencer Coordinator Brian Brown here with us, 93.9 DeVille.
Great interview, good energy. I tell you what, man, Coach Brown is very comfortable in his own skin. That's what always comes through in the interviews, and those guys are like the easiest interviews because you don't feel like you're trying to pull something out of them. You're not trying to pull any story out of them. When they're just really comfortable in their own skin, they kind of let you in behind the door. You speak real open and honest. Like those are the best and the easiest interviews.
I think he's high energy too, and he's honestly, it's good to hear from the coaching staff a little bit and just get a guy like that who's always positive anyway. So there's been a roller coaster for the past couple weeks with football. So, him getting out there, donating to a good cause, stopping for a few minutes to talk to Drew, getting some good positive vibes heading into a National Signing Day. And I think it was perfect. It was exactly
right.
what
And again, being reminded of the little things like not having to take a test for an entire week, and that being the highlight of your week. Hearing him talk about Lamar Jackson, hearing him bring up Coach Brob's day. Guy sounds self-aware too, man.
No, it was a great interview, man. When I heard it, I was just like, wow, like there was a lot of good stuff here. And I think he kind of confirmed what we already know. They're not going to a bowl, man. Like look, these dudes are happy to be done.
You give me 1 week without testing, I'm not going back to testing 3 times a day.
Without saying it, he kind of said it. We're sending our dudes home.
And he's the 15-week comment, 15, 16 weeks, you're like, okay.
That's a long season.
That's a season with a bowl game.
Well, yeah, no, absolutely. And I made that point when they made the Wake Forest game a little bit later, which it ended up being a week earlier. But it was like, hey, you're practicing still up into December. You only missed like a week or two if you would have had a bowl.
And we would have been an early bowl. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 16 weeks without your family, without really any. I mean, and COVID adds a whole new
Coach Brown said it. He said 3 times a week we're getting tested. He's like, and Drew said, I've been tested 3 times. That's terrible. You know what I mean? Like it sucks to do.
And like Drew said, I think it was like right after this interview, he was like, it makes a good point because are we going to spend another month of practice to get pumped up to play Tulsa or UAB or somebody like that?
Right. No. And see, I'm not opponent centric. I'm saying y'all should just be happy we got through a full season. We got through a 15, 16 week season of football. And that's why I was mad at y'all for saying you wouldn't sign up for it, because I still had some fun. I had a whole lot of fun. Is there anything I left off the menu I was supposed to add in? Support your local businesses, mostly 4 Pegs Restaurant. Double Brain. Texas says Double Brain, Tickle Bows. Yeah, like these guys. And I'm sure they're happy to be socializing a little more.
Oh, sure. And like, I ain't knocking the testing. Like, I mean, I get it. You know, it was necessary, but I also understand if you're like, okay, I'm done doing that weekly, 3 times a week. And double nostrils on Friday. Like, yeah, I'm out.
Right.
Yeah.
I am completely silent.
So I just feel like he definitely confirmed that, the no bowl, you know, and let's move on from that conversation.
Fun show. Get ready for Wednesday, people.
Basketball and recruiting tomorrow.
Steve has thrown down the gauntlet. If he gets his recruits to the finish line, game on. Coach will restore. Frederick. The C put some respect on my name, Satterfield. I cannot wait because I've been feeling that way. Middays with Marcus Maven on 939 The Ville.